Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And of course, and most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. That is what this particular tip is all about. So do not waste your time because your time is limited. And that is our business tip this morning. Now let's get our business quotes of the morning as well. Now, Bill Gates is basically saying here that your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. This is according to Bill Gates. And apparently, when you look at that, Bill Gates says if you are having unhappy customers or if you're having unhappy clients, then those are the people who are going to help your business grow because at least you have to make sure they are happy at the end of the day. So your unhappy customers are your most, your greatest source of learning. So learn from them. Ideally, it will be something that you'd be able to understand heavily. So you have unhappy clients or customers, then you know that will be a source of learning. They at least show you the gaps that you need to cover up. Well, now, besides that, we've got a lot of situations happening in this country. And one of those goes back to the kind of grievances who have issues regards how government bodies are being run in this country of ours, and of which we had to talk about it just last week previously. Everybody was apparently talking more about how the airport officials are very actually making it a tendency to ask money or bribes to get flight. Now, of course, after that particular one, social media has got it there, and obviously everybody was actually throwing tantrums here and there, left, right, center, all the details. And well, basically, if you're to look at the same kind of situation, what you need to know is there are lots of other government bodies that everyone has to with. As a matter of fact, during the time when social media was actually going hard on the airport, some of the Ugandans were saying there is also another government body that needs. And when we talk about this government body, I will fall victim as well. Having registered for my national ID in 2017, till the date, I will tell you I do not have it. And I'm not one of the few. I'm one of the many in that situation. Now, social media has got their say on what NERA isn't doing right. Because when it comes to National Identification Registration Authority or NERA, there are also some issues that need to be dealt with. Let's have more of these social media trends and what social media react. Now, NERA with its Twitter handle, that is at NERA_UG, says that one of the challenges faced by them, NERA_UG, needs execution of identity services is the use of obsolete technology, especially the software. And so, according to NERA, defense of what most of the people actually say, and one of those key things that needs to is put out there. So NERA with that one coming in with our first social media trend of the day. That is what NERA had to respond to some of the Ugandans who actually having queries. Now, Jeff Bezos at CJ Gadgets One says that after the Entebbe Airport saga, and just 2 days ago, my brother being denied a wheelchair, she's 70, linked with 4 big bags. I see NERA setting course as our next. Anyway, we are getting content on the Ministry of Lands as well. Now, Ugandans actually throwing their tantrums on social media. Gets to that. At least the airport. But NERA guys asked for bribe. This is according to Kamami Katu at Pachiye. That at least the airport, but NERA guys asked for bribe. Chew you and still not process your ID. So that one has got her personal opinion towards the NERA officials or those who actually work with. They will actually ask for still not quite unfortunate. Now, Montana at Bruno_Carter. People will soon come out for nearer. The frustration which that agency has inflicted on Ugandan men is unbearable. Time to put it in a better way. Very people will soon come. Now, Ibra at Ibra the second says Ibra should stop messing up people's information. Just extract more money from them in order to correct errors made by the health. Big tag government. That is and Ibra the second. Ibra should stop messing up people's information. Just now, Sour Wonder says, but Uganda is simply a joke. Now, check this in. That is according to Sour Wonder. When we say Uganda is simply a joke, I don't know how true that is, though. What this is, own opinion. Now, J256 and Jenny Linda 6 says, NERA conducted national ID registrations in schools since 2018. And I'll quickly take you back to 20. Now, but up to now, most students. Now, Jude Mutagubia is saying that NERA UG is access. Up to now, one student has voted their registration. Why? That is according to Jude Mutagubia, who is actually having this. Say, well, we registered it, but up to now, as students, we are yet to get. I would say, less than obviously. So, Jude Mutagubia at the end of the day with that. Well, also besides that kind of situation, now let's get to our business updates. This time around, we take a scrutiny into the border industry. Well, government is likely to suspend the operations of the border industry within the Kampala CBD, as some borders were requested. They were not actually requested, it was mandated that they should have license. They are apparently saying the licenses and border license. And the others are saying, well, border hiding. Why? I don't know my word. Then now government is to regulate city border country. And your border guy got a license. So he's likely to fail out. Let's have more of this particular update this morning.
Cost of acquiring a license for a border driver in this country. Right, Honorable Speaker, there is a big outcry in this country. For a person right now to access a license to drive a border, to ride a border, you must be in possession of averagely 300,000 shillings, including 135,000 shillings for a license. This is the same amount of money that a person who is acquiring a license for motor vehicle also pays. Right, Honorable Speaker, every 3 months in this nation, there is an operation targeting the border industry. Previously, there was an operation which was targeting and requiring a reflector for every border. And they bought, including the members of parliament, we bought for them. Currently, there is a new operation targeting a driver's license. When a rider's license, it is called a driver's license if you go there. It's the same. It's the same. I am using that knowingly. It is a driver's license. When you go to when they apprehend these borders, The bodas have to pay between 100 and 200,000 shillings to police to get out their motorbikes. This has crippled this industry. This industry employs most of our youth, and currently they don't have employment because of that, and it has caused insecurity. My prayers, Right Honorable Speaker, that government suspends the operation requiring these licenses from the bodas right now, and gives them a grace period of 6 months for them to be able to acquire these licenses. Secondly, my prayer, Right Honorable Speaker.
Colleagues, the member is entitled to his view here. Honorable is a doctor with a PhD, a learned doctor, a legislator, who understands that matters of law cannot be negotiated. Issues to do with driving cannot be negotiated. Is he in order to say that riding a motorbike belongs to a poor person? Is he in order to allege that we should suspend the issues of driving licenses for motorbike? No, it's not. Are you in order, doctor? My former political party president, are you in order?
They told me the difference between suspension and saying no license. I would help my colleague in that area. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm calling about suspension for 6 months so that these bodas will find time to acquire licenses. Secondly, my second prayer, government should review these licenses for the the fares, so that the fare is brought low, so that it is manageable by these bodas in the country. I so pray.
I want to thank my colleague, Dr. Bwanika, for observations and suggestions. I know it will take a bit of time to really come and explain why government is doing what it's doing. But in a nutshell, I want to advise very kindly my honorable colleagues, let's not be populist on things that are risky. Let's not be populist on issues that provide and which are meant to tame a department in our society which has caused mayhem in Mulago Hospital. If I appeal now, Mr. Speaker, to our emergency unit, and you see the people who have lost limbs thanks to these bodas who are reckless. The majority of them are good, but the group of them are reckless, and we are taming the reckless ones. What I want, Mr. Speaker, is to bring in detail, and there are so many things. So again, my emphasis, let's not separate populism with what is practically good for all of us. Yes, so I will bring a detailed report.
Well, Honorable Abedi Bwanika is very right, because it is within our mandate as government to plan for our people and to make sure that we guide the nation, because we have the mandate to do that, given to us by the same people. So it is within our mandate to make sure that we either regulate the bodas, we educate them, we plan them, we make them more professional, and that job must be respected by all Ugandans, because it has helped the government to employ quite a number of people in Uganda where government has failed. So we shouldn't take it for granted. This is a sector of this economy that we need to wake up and guide accordingly, because we need to grow to develop together. To me, I feel that boda have helped Ugandans quite in many ways, not only employing our people, but still people are finding a living from them. People are paying school fees. People have built houses from bodas. Many professions are in bodas. There are so many degrees in bodas. You find that even professions like a teacher, like a soldiers, in the evening you find them on boda. That means it's a very strong sector that the government has to wake up to this reality and make something. Try to guide them so that they can be, managed well. The issue I see is not about probably driving licenses. I'm looking at the mindset. How do these people behave? Government has left them, untouchables. They feel they can do anything. They're not warriors. These are strong men. All the people are adding value to this country. So we need to come out and see how we can help them. Change their mindset, educate them. Well, if they need driving licenses, they can have the driving license. But most importantly, the knowledge on how to, to behave on the road, how to be safe, to save themselves and those people they are carrying. I think that is the way to go. So I'm calling upon the government that it is a sector that we have realized in Uganda, that the government has been doing it in the central markets everywhere. We can do something in the borders also. We move with them, we regulate them, they can even pay small taxes to make sure that government, we move together with the borders.
The moment you charge high fees, then borders will go underground. They will run away from licensing. I don't agree with him on the issue of suspending and all that, but the main point he has raised is, why do you charge me, the owner, the driver of a vehicle, even a commercial vehicle, the same amount as a border rider? He is saying the most important point here I pick is that revise the fees, make them fair so that you attract these borders to pay for licenses. If you keep it high, most of the borders are not riding their own. Okay? So I think you need to pick that point of the fees being high. You look at it on a minister.
And right, besides that kind of situation from the border industry and regulations, well, if you were to hear some sides of the border or the voice from your border guy or your border personnel, they will ideally tell you their side, how these licenses, because some of them believe these licenses are quite expensive for them, then the others do believe it will actually make their work difficult. But those who have them, of course, will clearly tell you that life is actually moving on so well. Because one of the reasons as to why these licenses want to be put in place, because some of the border men do not follow guidelines that are. They will definitely not wait for the traffic lights, anything, and you end up looking at some of the accidents that are actually being brought by borders. Then you ask yourself, what were they thinking about? Okay, now, away from the border industry, let's discuss SACCOs for a while now. And one may wonder what would be the best way to run a SACCO successfully. This particular discuss more, find out how to run it. I do believe all of us are attached or have been attached to SACCO in regards to saving.
Is mindset change. If you, the leader, you are not mindset changed, how are you going to mindset change the citizens of Uganda? It starts with you. So Team Thara, if you are going to be what you want to be, you must have the following. The first one, those who know Uganda, are three words. All of them start with the letter O. And okuteka. That's preparing somebody. Like a lady goes and prepares food before it comes to the dining. Okuteka. The other word is okwegata. That is cooperation. That's the cooperative movement. That is where the SACCO comes from. The other critical one is owerufu. Owerufu means what in English? Being very transparent. Doing your job in a clean way. There's no way you'll run a successful SACCO unless you have got those three pillars. Okuteka, okwegata, and ogwerufu.
As the Minister of Microfinance, I was invited to be part and parcel of this historical moment of transformation of Team Thara to become a transformed organization to emancipate Ugandans and increase the household income. And I would like to inform the country that this is the way to go. And I'm pleased to have found all the regional players from all over the country, from Teso, Lango, Gulu, all over the country, as leaders who have witnessed this occasion. And on behalf of the microfinance fraternity, we do welcome officially the Team Thara Sacco, which I do promise that we shall support within the law all that is necessary, and I have guided them of the few things they need to concentrate on. In summary of team, of knowing how to manage their affairs, that's called internal controls. 2, to have transparency and ensure that each of these member team of Team Thara, wherever they belong, from Lango, Soroti, let them organize themselves there as SACCO. Then they link up with their headquarters. That way, in the next 3 years, in my view, they may have a very formidable union which will support these citizens. We, at the helm of microfinance, we do believe that a lot of managers in the past have mismanaged funds. In the present, it's very hard to mismanage the funds for 2 to 3 reasons. The first one, as Minister of Finance, we put in place an authority to regulate SACCOs and money lenders, UMRA, to a point that before even being lent money from microfinance, you seek certification from the authority. That's the most important part. 2, I personally have encouraged the SACCOs to go digital. Members at instant level must know what they have, what they're going to get, and they get it quickly. Now, the 3 O's I talked about link with transparency, ability to organize, that is the SACCO formation, and preparing leaders. Now, we have organs in this country who prepare the leaders. They teach them management of funds. I'm pleased this SACCO, I find they have even auditors. In the short time they have been there, they showed me the auditors, which means they fulfill one of the key principles of being organized and having internal controls.
Well, SACCOs, there you have it. And of course, some SACCOs have been urged to run things digitally. Will at least help and enhance service at the end of coding. And the Ministry of Microfinance is highly expected to be an answer. Yes. So everyone should be able to. After the break, I'll be returning with entertainment business, Andrew, coming up shortly.